All right, welcome back to the broadcast. You are watching To The Point. Tonight we're talking about love beyond loss. Our guest tonight, we have Dr. Gaido right next to me. We have Margaret right next to her, and of course we have Shutterboy. But of course, before we went on that very short break, Dr. Riad asked you a question which I realized that you did not shed light on, and this was, do you also offer maybe solutions, or do you also the aspect of inclusivity for widowers as well? Is it only widows, or is there room for widowers?
Well, I must say that the initial concept was about bringing widows together. And I must say I tried, we had a conversation with some of the widowers that I knew. And for real, we did a widowers group and registered one. But it was interesting, the rest of the time we came, you get this one who has gotten a partner already. So we would, you know, at times we need not to be very hard on ourselves. But I would ask this person, now, are you a widower or are you a husband to somebody? And he would tell me, I'm a widower to the first wife. So that one, it is anyway, it is God-given. Men are not able to live alone. And actually for me, because on personal levels I get them, some look for me to ask for advice on how to move on. But I also advise them to look for partners. Because for them, culturally, and even in godly matters, there is a room that was left out to them. You can see an 80-year-old man can marry a 25-year-old girl and nobody will complain. By the way, he will be complimented. Look at this young girl. If somebody looks at her with super eyes, you hear the community saying, oh God, she has started. And the husband just passed away yesterday. They cannot even say it is a year or two. They will just say that. So for the widowers, we advise them, kindly look for somebody, because it's not possible for a man to live alone. And this one God even saw from the Garden of Eden. He looked at the man and said, this one, we hawezi kutoboa akiwa peke yake. So we will also advise them that way. Those that need our guidance, we also come in. I don't mean to say I do connections, I don't. But I advise.
Shatta, do you agree that as men you cannot do without women?
Well, say if you are left alone, like no children, just you, probably I'd agree, because now you're alone. But now you've not been left alone. You have children, so you have to weigh your options. Is it now your comfort that you're going to look for, or are you going to be a parent to these children? Because every decision you make has its pros and cons. If you are, say, to bring in, say, another woman to your life and to the life of your children, because it can't be different, yeah? Have you weighed the pros to this situation? Have you weighed the cons? How is she going to treat these children? Will your children accept her? Because you see, when I meet a girl and I'm courting a girl, it's just me and her. You know, if I'm a boy, you know, she only needs my approval in all this. But if I am bringing her in a situation where now there are children, my son is 13 years and my daughter is 9 years, and now I am bringing in someone else in the picture, this person needs to get the approval. Remember, these are children, and the way they process the emotion is very different. They will look at you like replacing their mother, you know. So it won't even be fair to the girl you're bringing into the picture, because now she will get hatred that she does not deserve. You know, she's just fallen in love with you, she's thinking everything will go smoothly, and the children reject her. So what do you do? Now do you choose your children over her, or do you choose her over your children? So in my case, because I don't know how it happens out there, what I've decided is that I will not get married. I will just take care of those children until they are grown-ups. When say they are, everyone is a grown-up, now I can decide maybe if I want a partner or not. But as of now, because I have also seen situations where things have gone south. Like a man moves on, brings in a woman, and it becomes just chaotic for the children. They don't feel the love, it's just fights and fights. If you can, because it's a choice. Even loving someone, when you wake up every day and I love you, it's a choice I make to love you every day. I can just decide not to have that choice. But so if I make the choice of me just being with the children, it's a sacrifice. And once you set yourself on a cause, you see to it. So basically, that is my principle in this one. I decided to be with them. Yeah.
So Shatta, how has it been like for you finding, of course, love after your loss? Have you maybe tried, because 1 year, just last year, for you to make that decision that you are never doing it again? How has it been like for you trying to find love, of course, after your loss?
Well, I haven't tried. Like I have told you, I made this decision that I'm just going to be me and the children, because it's a decision I made. Staying true to the decision is what has been not easy, because I've decided I will not, you know. And then every day you have a DM. First of all, you're in the limelight. You hear doing radio shows, TV shows. Every day you have a fan that is telling you they can take care of your kids. Saying no to this kind of texts, also balancing. You don't want to create animosity between you and your fans. It's not been easy saying no to these things, and also saying no to yourself, because you're a human being and you have human urges. Also saying no to those urges is a sacrifice. Yeah, but because, as I've told you, there's a course that I've set myself to, I stay with it. What I'd say has been helpful, which is also not a good thing, is that I lost my parents, both of them, in a span of 1 year. Like I lost my mom, 1 year later I lost my dad. You know, so I have lived with grief for some time. So even when this came, I had a bearing of how to go around it. Yeah, so I'd say that is what is helping me through this.
How has your understanding of grief evolved, Shatta, before I bring in, of course, Margaret?
Well, my understanding of grief is that number one is you don't see yourself as a victim. I don't think the world is punishing you, because this is life and everyone has a script. And that script must come to an end. And if it comes before yours, you have to accept that this is where the script had to end. No matter what you did, no matter how much you try to change the script, you are not the author of that script. And if the author decided that is the end of it, that is the end of it. Of course, you'll cry, you'll feel bad, but you realize you're still in the game. You keep on the play. Yes.
Margaret, I realized when Shatta said that he is not considering marrying again, you were shocked. Would you consider remarrying?
I would say yes. Okay. At the moment, I'm focusing on the children. It's barely 2 years, so and the children are young. So my main focus at the moment is the children, putting things like securing a future for the children. But if God brings a good man along the way, why not?
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. Daktari, now for cases like this, of course, aside from maybe the foundation, how can widows and widowers get help, maybe from just a community perspective or just help in general?
One, it is, let me first comment on what they have said. A marriage, a second marriage or a third marriage, it is always very tricky. And we have always told even the young widows, yes, you are young, and even the Bible gives you the go ahead. You can remarry. But then you need to think like what Hassan here is thinking. I have my own baggage. I have these children, they are young. Their sole stories is about me as their father or their mother. So bringing in this person is not like when I was a young boy, when I could rush into things that maybe I don't care whether they backfire or they don't. So that one needs a lot of thinking and a lot of commitment. And of course, because everybody knows what he wants for his life or her life and for their life. You know what you want to do. You know what you want to bring up. You don't want to bring up a family in bitterness where there is like a competition. Who is loved by daddy more, the wife or the children? So that one will also put somebody into a fix. However, we would say, with time is a healer. And you can see now the difference. This one is in the second year. This one is in the first year. That is why you can see the difference. This one is almost like saying, if I am able to take care of my children and settle at a good bargain, then I can go for it. The gentleman is saying, I have not thought about that one, because he's in those stages where you first say, why did it have to? But you deny. You think about like you never did those things. He's still in. He has not come to acceptance that now, because I've been left, this is how now I'll do my things. But he has designed his style of walking the journey, which is very good, because others just right around, they don't know. They even don't know whether I want to look for sorries on somebody else. And that is where widows, especially widows, go wrong, because they get to a point where you feel so lonely, in the sense that whomever comes first and tells you, I love you, I think you have not heard for maybe 5 years, or like myself, 13 years. Then it says, oh God, the saint has come. Maybe the motive is not very sincere. So the issue of remarrying is a personal decision, and it is just what you can live with them. But it is not advisable for anybody with an opportunity to not utilize it. But first navigate the opportunity, in that it favors you and it favors whomever else was left on the runway. You get? Yes.
All right, we just hold on to that thought, Daktari. We are coming back, of course, after this break.